Page 76. Track 14. Listening 3. 1.
A protest by over 5,000 nurses caused major traffic jams downtown yesterday morning. The nurses protested in front of County General Hospital to demand higher pay and an increase in staffing. They say that major budget cuts have resulted in unfair salaries. And because 20% of nursing staff was laid off last month, remaining nurses have to work longer hours and take care of more patients. Later in the day, hospital management promised to consider their demands.
2.
Over 20,000 people so far have visited the National Museum to see the collection of works by the popular Colombian artist Botero. That is the largest number of visitors the gallery has had for several years. This is the first time that Botero's work has been shown in this area, and the collection includes some of his best-known paintings and sculptures.
3.
Several hundred people are fleeing their homes in Los Angeles, California, because of a forest fire burning out of control in the nearby hills. The fire began 5 days ago. Hot weather, wind, and a very dry summer are helping the fire spread very quickly. Firefighters have come from as far away as Alaska to help put out the flames.
4.
A customs official at Kennedy Airport was very surprised yesterday when he checked the baggage of a passenger and found over 50 live snakes, some of them very poisonous. The government believes that the passenger was planning to sell the snakes illegally in the U.S. They would have been worth up to $1,000 each. A few snakes escaped from the suitcases, but airport officials say that all of them were caught within an hour.
5.
As a result of the heavy rain over the weekend, city officials fear there may be a flood. Many people living near the river have had to leave their homes. Over 30 families are now homeless. Most of them are staying with friends and relatives. Volunteers worked throughout the weekend to place sandbags along the river.
6.
A spokesperson for two of the country's largest airlines, Northern Airlines and Air International, has announced that the two airlines are discussing a possible merger for next year. If the merger goes ahead and the two companies combine, it could be bad news for travelers. Many business experts think that the new company would certainly raise ticket prices.
Page 77. Track 15. Pronunciation. 1.
The woman had 2,350 pairs of shoes.
2.
He won the election by 480,000 votes.
3.
3,611 people attended the concert.
Page 77. Track 16. Dictation.
Did you watch the news last night and see the story about the bank robbery?
No, I didn't. What happened?
3 men robbed the bank on 5th Street. They got away with $850,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money. I hope the police caught them.
Not yet. There's a $15,000 reward for anyone who helps the police capture them.
Unit 20. Opinions. Page 78. Track 17. Listening 1. 1.
I think it's a great way for people to develop pride in their country. It can make people feel good about themselves and their team, and I think that's a very positive thing.
2.
Well, the problem with allowing them in the classroom is they can be distracting for students. If students are texting or going online, they're not paying attention to their classwork, and sometimes they ring during class.
3.
I don't mind them, because a lot of them are really very entertaining. Also, you get to know what new products are available.
4.
I can't see anything useful in it. It's just a huge waste of time, energy, and money. I mean, can you see any point in trying to find out if there's life out there?
5.
Well, if anyone is crazy enough to try it, let them. Who in their right mind would want to jump off a high bridge with just a rope tied around their legs?
6.
Well, they are great company, especially for people who live alone. Having one can help you relax and possibly even lower your blood pressure.
Page 79. Track 18. Listening to. 1.
Well, space exploration is pretty expensive, but I think it's worth it.
Why is that?
Well, that's how we learn more about the universe we live in. That's pretty important, isn't it?
2.
I can't stand commercials on TV these days. They really annoy me.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Because they always interrupt my favorite TV programs. And some of those commercials are really long.
3.
I think the Olympic Games are great. I can't wait for the next ones.
Really? Why?
Well, they encourage an interest in sports and help bring about better international understanding. We need more of that.
4.
Every city needs tourism, I think.
Why do you think that?
Well, because tourism can bring jobs and money to the city. It's a much better way of raising money than taxes.
5.
Well, action movies might be fun, but I don't think they are really good for young people.
Really? Why do you say that?
Because they are way too violent. I never let my kids watch them.
6.
If you ask me, people in this city shouldn't be allowed to have those big cars.
How come?
Because most streets are too small for big cars, and they don't have space for parking.
Page 80. Track 19. Listening 3. 1.
I think more attention should be given to studying foreign languages at school. Don't you think so?
Sure, absolutely. I think students should be required to learn a second language. It'll help them get better jobs. I studied Spanish in school, and my Spanish language skills helped me get a great job.
2.
I think lawyers have the best jobs in the world. What do you think?
I'm not sure I agree. It's true that lawyers make a lot of money, but they also have to work really hard.
3.
The shows on TV these days are the worst. Even with 100 channels to choose from, there's nothing to watch.
I think it's because most TV shows are written for teenagers. There's nothing for people older than 19 to enjoy.
4.
Have you taken the bus lately? It's awful.
I know. The last time I took the bus, I had to wait for an hour for it to come. And it was so packed that I couldn't get a seat.
5.
Where did you get that skirt? It's so cute.
Thanks. I bought it online.
Really? I buy books and music online, but I've never bought clothes online. I like to try things on before I buy them.
6.
I'm telling you, this rainy weather is driving me crazy. I hate it.
I'm actually glad it's finally been raining recently. It's really good for my garden. You should see all the beautiful flowers in bloom.
Page 81. Track 20. Pronunciation. 1.
Tourism raises money for cities and creates jobs.
2.
Hybrid cars save gas and help the environment.
3.
Pets can keep you company, help you relax, and even lower your blood pressure.
4.
I think cigarettes are smelly, dirty, and bad for your health.
Page 81. Track 21. Dictation.
What do you think about the new mall?
I don't know. I haven't shopped there yet. Have you?
Yeah, I have. I went last weekend. I liked it a lot. It has a ton of stores, lots of great restaurants, and a big movie theater.
Oh, I'll have to check it out soon. It sounds so much better than the old mall.
It is. The old mall is boring, dirty, and too small.
I agree.
Unit 21. Famous People. Page 82. Track 22. Listening 1. 1.
Hey Lisa, are you free Thursday night? Some friends and I are going to see the new Halle Berry movie. Would you like to come along?
Oh, I'd love to go. She's so beautiful. Didn't she win a bunch of beauty pageants when she was younger?
Yeah, she did. And she's so talented too. She's the first African-American woman to win the Academy Award for Best Actress.
Yeah, that was really exciting.
2.
Would you hand me that book on the table?
Sure, here you go. What's it about?
It's about Gandhi.
Oh, yeah? He helped India become independent, right?
Right. It's interesting stuff. He inspired so many people. But did you know he started out as a lawyer?
No, I had no idea. So when did he become such an important leader in India?
Not until he was in his 40s.
3.
You look tired today, Nick. Here, have a cup of coffee.
Thanks. Could you pass me the cream? I was up all night reading the new Stephen King novel.
He's the one who writes those horror stories, right?
That's right.
And haven't they made a lot of his books into movies?
Yeah, like Carrie and The Shining. They're really good. And the books are even better. And really scary, too. This new book is giving me nightmares.
4.
How's it going, Amy?
Oh, all right. I'm writing a research paper on Leonardo da Vinci, so I've been spending a lot of time in the library.
Isn't he the one who painted the Mona Lisa?
Yeah, he also did a lot of other great paintings. And he was a scientist and an inventor, too.
5.
Hey, Josh, is that a Bob Marley poster?
Yeah. Do you like his music?
I sure do. He made reggae music famous all over the world. I love that song of his called No Woman No Cry. Have you heard that one?
Yeah. I downloaded a great version of it just last week. Do you want to hear it?
6.
Hey, Jen, do you know where Albert Einstein was from? I need it for this crossword puzzle I'm doing.
Well, he's from Germany originally. That's where he discovered the theory of relativity. It completely changed the study of physics.
Yeah, I know. I somehow thought he was American.
No, but he lived in the United States for a long time. He taught science at Princeton University.
Page 83. Track 23. Listening 2.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of Legendary Lives. Our subject this evening is James Dean, actor and hero to the young people of his time. Edward Murray is the author of a new biography of Dean. Good evening, Edward.
Hello, Tina.
Edward, could you please tell us what you know about Dean's early life?
He was born in Indiana in 1931, but his parents moved to California when he was 5. He wasn't there long, though, because when his mother passed away just 4 years later, Jimmy's father sent him back to Indiana to live with his aunt and uncle. While growing up there, he played baseball and basketball, rode horses, and played ice hockey. He used to ride his motorcycle all over the farmers' fields, speeding and chasing cows.
So, how did he get into acting?
Well, first he acted in school plays at his high school, where he won a drama award. He also won arts and sports awards in high school, and a speech contest, too. He went to college in California, and that's where he seriously started to get into acting. He did modeling for advertisements and appeared in some TV shows. In 1951, he moved to New York to do more stage acting. In fact, he won an award as Most Promising Newcomer for 1954.
Well, when did his movie career really start?
1955. His first starring role was in East of Eden. He was fabulous. James Dean became a huge success. But the movie that really made him famous was his second one, Rebel Without a Cause. That was about teenagers who felt like they didn't fit into society.
So, how many more movies did he make?
Just one more. Then he died in a car crash in California in 1955. He loved driving fast. In fact, he was driving his Porsche on his way to take part in a car race when he died.
What a tragedy. He only made 3 movies. So what made him the legend he still is today?
Well, I guess his looks, his acting ability, his short life, and maybe the type of character he played in his movies. Many young people saw him as a symbol of American youth.
Page 84. Track 24. Listening 3.
Nelson Mandela, the first African president of South Africa, was born in 1918. His father was an assistant to an important African chief, and as a young boy, Nelson often helped his father. While he listened to people telling the chief about their problems, Mandela decided he wanted to become a lawyer so that he could help his people with their struggle for freedom. After high school, Mandela studied for a Bachelor of Law degree. In 1942, he started his political life by joining an organization called the ANC. ANC stands for African National Congress. The ANC fought against the laws of the South African government because these laws made life difficult for black people. Even though most of the country's population was black, the people who ran the government and had all of the power were white. Over the next few years, he and other members of the organization worked hard, and the ANC became a powerful national movement. The group encouraged people to resist the government in a peaceful and non-violent way. Mandela became deputy president of the ANC in 1952. He was now an important leader of black South Africans. As a lawyer, he helped poor people stay on the land where they lived, instead of being forced to move to areas where the government wanted them to live. He also fought against laws that said that black and white people could not live in the same areas or go to the same schools. During the early 1960s, the government began watching Mandela carefully, and he was soon arrested. He was sentenced to life in prison in 1962. He was not released from prison until 1990. Even while he was in prison, he inspired people in his own country and others all over the world. After he was released, Mandela continued to try to achieve the goals he had set almost 40 years earlier. In 1994, he became the first democratically elected state president of South Africa. He remained president until he retired in 1999. Today, the world remembers him as South Africa's best-known and best-loved hero.
Page 85. Track 25. Pronunciation. 1.
Would you hand me that book on the table?
2.
Could you pass the salt and pepper?
3.
What did you do?
4.
What would you do if you saw a famous actor?
5.
Could you sign your book for me?
6.
Did you get his autograph?
Page 85. Track 26. Dictation.
So what did you do this weekend?
My friends and I went to Los Angeles for the weekend.
Oh, really? Did you see anyone famous?
Yeah, we saw Leonardo DiCaprio in a cafe and Jackie Chan walking down the street.
No way! Did you get their autographs?
No, we were too shy to ask. What would you do if you saw someone famous? Would you ask for an autograph?
Maybe. I was at a restaurant once and I took a picture of a big celebrity.
Unit 22. Food and Nutrition. Page 86. Track 27. Listening 1. 1.
I never pay attention to my diet. I eat whatever I want. There's nothing I like more than a big juicy steak for dinner and chocolate cake and ice cream for dessert. Yum.
2.
I'm trying to cut down on cholesterol, so I've stopped eating eggs, cheese, and red meat. I'm eating a lot more fish and chicken.
3.
I'm trying to put on weight. Everyone tells me I'm too thin, so I've started eating a lot more meat and dairy products. It's great. Now I can go out as often as I want for hamburgers and fries.
4.
I've got a real sweet tooth. I love chocolate, candy, and things like that. But I know it isn't healthy, so I've given all that up. Now the only sweets I have are fruit.
Page 87. Track 28. Listening 2. 1.
Well, from what you've been telling me, Mr. Grant, it sounds like you're already eating more vegetables. That's good. But you should definitely eat less cheese. It has a lot of sodium and fat in it. That might explain why your cholesterol level is so high.
2.
I'm glad to hear that you've been eating fish more often, Linda. It's much better for you than meat because it has a lot less fat in it. It will probably help your high blood pressure, too. Now, you should also try to eat more fresh fruit, too, especially berries, like strawberries and blueberries. They're full of antioxidants.
3.
Well, Chris, I think it's great that you've been eating a lot of vegetables. I see you've been having fruit for dessert instead of ice cream, too. That's excellent. But you say you've been feeling tired and weak lately, so you should eat more meat.
4.
Ms. Barton, I'm wondering about all the bread you've been eating. I know you need to lose weight, and sometimes eating a lot of bread makes that very difficult. So I'd like you to eat less bread for a few weeks. Otherwise, your diet seems pretty well balanced. You're eating meat, but not too much meat, as well as a lot of fruit and vegetables.
5.
You're right, Mr. O'Brien. You're definitely losing too much weight. It's probably because you haven't been eating meat. Now, even if you don't eat meat, you still need protein. Why don't you try eating more eggs, beans, and cheese? They've got a lot of protein. I'm sure that will help.
6.
Well, Mrs. Johnson, I see here that you've been having stomach aches in the mornings lately. And you say you have cereal with milk for breakfast every day. I think the problem is that the milk is difficult for you to digest. That means you shouldn't eat dairy products like milk and cheese. I suggest you stop drinking milk for a few months.